This is Blvck Svm. I'm here with Burbs Entertainment. We about to go bar for bar.
YSL got it for cheap. Nah, these niggas think I hit a stain like Bleach. 7 a.m. on the beach, studying flows. The ocean got hella to teach. I put a sis on my beat. Old lady fingers get numb from pinching my cheeks. I haven't slept in a week. I just been covered in blues. I feel like Mystique.
YSL got it for cheap. I wrote that when I was ghostwriting a lot. Almost a year ago now, I guess. I used to get paid in clothing sometime instead of money, which was cool because I would get introduced to a lot of different clothing that I probably wouldn't have picked up myself. And one day I was wearing this YSL shirt that one of the artists I was writing for had got me. A few of the dudes in the studio were clowning me because they never seen me wear no fresh shit before in the studio. So they told me that they thought I hit a stain for it, which means they thought that I stole it. And I thought that, like, hit a stain, like Bleach gets stains out of white stuff. I wrote that line down because I thought it sounded hard. I don't really have any bigger plans for it. I just thought it was a cool line, but eventually I just built this whole song out around it. Studying flows, the ocean got hella to teach. I grew up going to the beach a lot because I grew up in South Florida. Studying flows, like rap flows, but also the ocean is full of flows too. It's kind of a parallel there. I put a 6 on my beak, a 6, like a bottom 6 grill, the bottom 6 teeth. On my beak, I needed to rhyme with cheeks, weak, and mystique. Yeah, so I picked beak. So I put a grill in my mouth. Old ladies' fingers get numb from pinching my cheeks because like grills are icy. Their fingers would get cold. Old people got bad circulation too sometimes. I haven't slept in a week. I just been covered in blues. I feel like Mystique. Mystique from X-Men, whose skin is blue, but I'm covered in blue, like $100 bills with the blue strips down them. That's like slang for them, blues. Blue cheese, blue strips.
I gave my jewel and my jelly, he gave me a skeleton, I had to bust on the bones. Got 30 looks at the movies, the money was calling, I forgot to silence my phone. Got an invite to a show out in Paris, a nigga just downloaded Rosetta Stone. All I wrote down in my erotic croissants, if they can provide them, I'll leave it alone.
So I gave my jeweler a piece of Margiela clothing, garment, and in exchange, he gave me a skeleton, which is a type of watch, and I had to bust down the bones. So the constituent parts of a skeleton is the bones, of course, and the constituent parts of a nice watch would be like the diamonds in it, or the pieces in it that you would bust down with diamonds. I thought that was a cool parallel, like skeleton bones, bust down diamonds. Got dirty looks at the movies, the money was calling, I forgot to silence my phone. Like, you know, when you're at the movies and you get a phone call, but you didn't turn your ringer off. I don't think people really have their ringers on nowadays anyways, but yeah, you get dirty looks if that happened, but the money was calling. I had to pick it up. Got an invite to a show out in Paris, and niggas downloaded Rosetta Stone because I can't speak French. I actually did get invited to go out to Paris, but it wasn't for my own rap stuff, it was for my homies' rap stuff. I usually don't tell people that. All I wrote down on my writer, croissants, if they can provide them, I'll leave it alone. Because I heard Paris has like the best croissants you could possibly get on the planet. But if they couldn't get me those, they would be fine. Like, it wouldn't be a deal breaker. I might half-ass my performance, but I would still pull up.
Meeting with Sony, a post on the gram, and a whole lot of rappers that digging my grammar. Charging them $200 a stand so they pay out of pocket like Vic in Atlanta. Money been jumping, it's too much to handle. I call my account, we working in tandem. Used to get Metcalf for summer, last week I made double that. School cannot hold a candle.
Last June, 2 Junes ago, 2 summers ago, my homie Dantes, shout out Dantes, brought me to the Sony office because he's signed with Same Plate. I posted a picture of me outside the logo on the wall, and other people started hitting me up about features and stuff, saying, oh, your shit's so crazy, just because I posted a picture next to a Sony logo on the wall. So it was a little free clout. Charging $200 a stands that they pay out of pocket like Vic in Atlanta. So some of these same dudes were asking for features. At the time, my feature rate was $200. You know, charging $200 a stanza. They pay out of pocket like Vic in Atlanta. When Mike Vick was on the Falcons, he was a very good scrambling quarterback, often played out of the pocket, and people would pay me out of their pockets. Money been jumping, it's too much to handle. I call my accountant, we're working in tandem. That one's pretty self-explanatory, I think, you know. Used to get Metcalf for summer. Last week I made double that. School come out with a candle. So Metcalf is this internship in my college that they would give out for internships over the summer. It was a $4,000 check, tax-free. Last week I made double that. School come out with a candle. Just me saying that I can make a lot more money outside of school, which at the time wasn't really true, but now it's definitely true.
I'm up in Momotar with a shorty. I keep a Virgil on me like a 40. Couple of Cubans on me, they imported. They got my net froze, rigor mortis.
Momotar is this really nice restaurant in Chicago. I think it's up near here, north side, downtown. I can't remember, but I was there with shorty. I keep the Virgil on me like a 40. It's like the off-white belt, like on my hip. Like somebody would keep a 40 on their hip. Couple of Cubans on me, they imported, like Cuban link chains. Imported, not necessarily from Cuba, but you know, they're called Cubans, so I guess they could be from Cuba. They got my neck froze rigor mortis, like, you know, they're super cold. They got my neck stiff, like a dead body, and they get rigor mortis.
I hit the breaststroke in the bend, swimming through South Beach with the fins. I just been going crazy with the pen, cause I don't get shit off of spins.
I hit the breaststroke in the bend, swimming through South Beach with the fins. It's like comparing driving a car, like a really smooth car, to swimming through water. Breaststroke, that's a way to swim, and like the car got fins on it because like it's swimming down the street instead of driving. I just been going crazy with the pen because I don't get shit off of spins. That's probably my favorite line on the song because at the time it was a reference to how much ghostwriting I was doing because my own music wasn't making me any money. But fast forward almost a year from now, like I really don't do too much ghostwriting anymore because I'm finally supporting myself with my own stuff. So now I am getting shit off of spins, which I just didn't really anticipate happening anytime soon when I was writing this. It's crazy how things change. And now we got another hook.
That's why I still got it for cheap. Now these niggas think I hit a stain like Bleach. 7 a.m. on the beach. The ocean got hella to teach. I put a 6 on my beat. All of these fingers get numb from pitching my cheeks. I haven't slept in a week. I just been covered in blues. Shorty, she down for whatever. I keep my flow under the weather. I'm cold when they come with the pressure, but diamonds all over the bezel. I can't even count up too many to measure. Steering wheel light as a feather, smashing the shade of interior leather. Feeling more patient than ever. Taking my time, enjoying the ride. I get there whenever.
First part is pretty regular, I think. Not too much hidden meaning. The one bar in there is that I keep my flow under the weather. I'm cold when they come with the pressure, and that can be read cold like temperature cold, or I guess sickness cold, because I keep my flow under the weather. But also if you include the next part of that line, I'm cold when they come with the pressure, put diamonds all over the bezel. Like cold mixed with pressure, that's what makes diamonds. So you can read cold as coal also, C-O-A-L. So depending on how you want to read that line, it works both ways. That's a double entendre. Steering wheel light as a feather, smashing the shade of interior leather. Feeling more patient than ever, taking my time, enjoying the ride, I get there whenever. I think that one's pretty surface level too. Sometimes you can't get a deep meaning on every bar.
I'm in the booth when niggas are sleeping. Nike to hoodie, I'm reaping. Hellcat usually sound like a demon. Gave it a 4G's, not a bit creeping.
I'm in the booth when niggas asleep, and I'm in there all night. At this time I was too. I was in there like every day grinding, not necessarily trying to make a hit, but just trying to get a bunch of music together because this was like my last chance. Nike Tech hoodie, I'm reaping. Like the Grim Reaper wears the hood. Nike Tech hoodie. I don't have mine anymore. I kind of grew out of it. Hellcat usually sound like a demon. Gave it the 4G's, not a bit creeping. The Hellcat is the SRT Charger. It sounds really loud. The engine is super loud, especially when you start driving super fast in it. Sounds like a demon would scream or something. Gave it the 4G's. That's short for 4G Autos. It's a luxury tire, real smooth ride. And now it's creeping, like, you know, the tires kind of quieted the noise of the car, which wouldn't make sense in real life because it's the engine making the noise, but I thought it sounded cool as a bar.
I got 10 toes in the cement, I got 10 fingers on throat. The game in the choke, they hop out the lab, they burning the oat. They took me to space, I don't even smoke.
10 toes on the cement, like I'm grounded, I'm here. 10 fingers on throat, the game in the choke, that explains itself. They hotbox the lab, they burn in the oak, they took me to space, I don't even smoke. My biggest issue with ghostwriting was that I would often end up in studios that would be hotboxed for several hours at a time, and I don't smoke myself. I guess as a result, I would get really out of it after being in there for a while. Definitely affected my work. I turned in some pretty bad verses after I got to a certain point of gas inhalation. But, you know, it's part of the business.
I hop in the Uber, I smell like a roach. Hope it come out of my clothes. Normally I wouldn't really be tweaking, but I spent $1.50 on the coat. The berry is burr, I really defer. Call Harry for fur. No pun intended, I pick up a pen and the Vivas, it looking like ice in a blender. The quality splendid.
One particular night at the studio, did hotboxing for like 4, 5, 6 hours. I was in there the whole time, just trying to get verses out, trying to make some money. One of the artists who I'd written for previously, it got me to like this $1,400, $1,500 Burberry coat, super cold, wore it the whole time, super flexed up. It smelled so bad once I got out of there. Once I was about to get in the Uber, I ditched it because I was super paranoid about getting caught. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna get in trouble with the Uber driver, if I didn't know what was gonna happen. And I was very new to all of this. Typically I wouldn't really be tweaking, but I spent $1.50 on a coat. I didn't spend $1.50. Somebody spent $1.50. That's more of the point. The berry is Burberry. I rarely defer, I needed to rhyme. Call Harry for fur, no pun intended. Shout out Harry. Let me borrow his mink coat for my Yasuke cover from 2 years ago. No pun intended, Harry for pick up a pennant, the VVs are looking like ice in a blender, crushed up diamonds, the quality splendid. And we got another hook.
Yeah, YSL got it for cheap. Stain like bleach, 7 a.m. on the beach, studying flows, the ocean got hella to teach. I put a 6 on my beat, all of these fingers get numb from pinching my cheeks. I haven't slept in a week, I just been covered in blues, I feel I must eat.
And that's Bleach, Bar4Bar.